of the defunct Carnival of Shadows, a decaying amusement park on the edge of town. The neon sign, once vibrant and promising laughter, now flickered weakly in the moonlight, casting eerie shadows on the cracked pavement below. Inside, 5 friends, Jenna, Marcus, Chris, Laura, and Emily, navigated the park's overgrown pathways with only the harsh glow of their flashlights. They'd been warned not to come here, that the place was cursed after the park's abrupt closure years ago due to a string of unsolved disappearances. But curiosity and the promise of a thrill had drawn them here. Jenna shivered as her beam swept over a row of decaying carnival games. "Guys, this was a bad idea," she whispered, clutching Chris's arm. "Come on," Marcus scoffed, voice tinged with bravado. "It's just an old park, no killer clowns or anything." A gust of wind rattled a nearby Ferris wheel, making it creak like an old man's bones. Shadows shifted, and Laura's stomach knotted. "Did you hear that?" she asked, her eyes darting between the rides. The others fell silent, the weight of the place pressing on them. They pressed on toward the House of Mirrors. A decayed funhouse looming like a deranged cathedral, its broken sign flickered. Reflections of you. They pushed the door open with a groan, the air inside stale and musty. Glass shards crunched beneath their shoes as they fanned out. The mirrors, warped and cracked, reflected their faces in a dozen grotesque forms. Jenna's breath quickened as she caught a flicker of movement, a shape that didn't belong. "Did you see that?" she whispered. Marcus spun around, his beam cutting through the darkness. "See what?" he demanded. The others turned too, but saw nothing, only their own distorted reflections. Suddenly, a low chuckle echoed, deep and mocking, reverberating off the glass walls. "Leaving so soon?" A voice drawled, cold and confident. Panic seized them. Chris grabbed Laura's hand. "Run!" he yelled. They bolted through the maze, but every path seemed to circle back, reflections multiplying their fear. A flash of steel glinted. Emily screamed as a knife plunged from the darkness, severing her scream into a gurgle. Blood sprayed across the glass. Jenna gasped, tears streaming down her face. "No, no! This can't be happening!" Marcus spun around, a makeshift weapon, a broken pipe raised in shaking hands. "Show yourself!" he bellowed. A tall figure emerged, face hidden behind a cracked porcelain mask, its surface smeared with blood. The killer's eyes glinted with an unholy light. "Your reflection is flawed," he hissed, his voice both calm and dripping with malice. Chris swung his flashlight, but it was too late. The killer lunged, slicing the beam of light, and Chris's throat. Blood splattered the glass, painting it in crimson horror. Marcus roared, charging the killer, but the figure sidestepped, and Marcus tumbled into a mirror, shattering it with a deafening crash. He slumped to the ground, glass embedded in his chest. Jenna and Laura clung to each other, sobbing. "Please, please," Laura whispered. The killer's head tilted. "Via," he murmured. "So beautiful." With measured steps, he closed the distance, the knife dripping with fresh blood. Jenna's scream was cut short. Outside the funhouse, the Ferris wheel creaked again, its empty gondolas swaying in the breeze. A single drop of blood splattered the ground beneath the exit. The killer emerged, mask gleaming in the moonlight, and turned his gaze skyward. "And now," he muttered, "the park lives again." As he vanished into the shadows, the neon sign flickered once more. Reflections of you, and then died, leaving only darkness.